It breaks up this kind of dreamy and this really straight breakdown bridge thing here. So I like how it comes in and kind of just disrupts it all. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Low End University. Freakish is from the band's third studio album, Stay What You Are, released in 2001, widely regarded as a classic and a highly influential piece of music in the emo and pop-punk genres. This track has been frequently requested over on Patreon, and while it hasn't topped the charts and won yet, I also see this band requested a lot in the YouTube comments, and that's basically how I decide what we do here on the channel. Now, despite all the punk rock I've covered here on the channel, within this almost 2-year-long rabbit hole now, I'm kind of learning that I haven't really dipped my toes into the emo side of things yet. Maybe a little, I don't know, honestly. When I was younger, I sort of thought these were all the same thing. Obviously, I was wrong about a lot of things. But after hearing Sunny Day Real Estate for the first time just recently and reading those comments on that video, I realized there's this entire other subset of the genre to still uncover. So looking forward to that. Let me know where I should go next. But without further ado, here's my first time hearing Saves the Day and hearing of them with their track Freakish. Okay, first things first, we started on A-flat minor, my favorite key. We could just do A-flat minor songs all the time, and I guarantee I would just love the track on that alone. Jokes aside, we haven't done a softer song like this in a while. I wouldn't really call this a ballad necessarily, but just, you know, we've done so much driving, heavier, hard rock in terms of punk, and just, you know, that's the theme on the channel. You know, my whole MO on the channel is to shine the spotlight on bass players and heavier genres that often get overlooked. But nonetheless, this is setting up to be a really beautiful, colorful track. Some really nice songwriting. And we haven't had a song like this in a while either that just sort of starts. There's no setup. You know, I'm always talking about, I love how this song is set up, and I love how they set up the song. And that's really important, but sometimes it's cool to hear a song that just gets to the point. Vocals coming in very early. There's really no, they don't really show you a bunch of ingredients for the songwriting. It kind of unfolds as the song is already happening, putting in that little diminished chord and some inversions happening here. But it still has that poppy framework, and I really like the cleverness behind some of the guitar chords. The guitar chords sound a lot like what a lot of bass intros do here on the channel, where I talk about the chord. The actual chord root note is on the D string, and then the G string above it has the melody, so this kind of stuff. So you have that top string doing that. The guitar riffs are embodying that here. If you listen to them, they almost have this little melody baked in there that's similar to the vocal melody. So it makes this really rich mixing of the vocal melody, the guitar chords, but then has the secondary melody sort of in the guitar part. I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'll point out what I'm talking about, but I want to get my head around some of these colorful chords. I knew I heard a diminished. There's this inversion. Beautiful stuff so far. I wonder if it'll get really heavy, if the bottom will drop out. So just right into it. They've given you one chord before it's time to pay attention to the vocalist, the lyrics. There's no like preview of anything. So it's one way to write a song that can really grab your attention quickly. What is that chord? Sounds dominant there, which is an interesting tonality.
Slip to the floor and then crawl through your legs, slide under the back door, rendering me freakish and day.
There's that, I think, just an F diminished there. Puts a lot of tension in there. So that whole progression is going. We have this first inversion of something, then it walks up, and then goes up a half step. Pretty. Now, this section, I think after this is the one I'm talking about, with the melodic guitar riff. Yeah. So the chorus. Okay, listen to, if I go back maybe 10 seconds, the guitar part's a little bit more, they're a bit more static. They're moving, but listen how they blossom when this chorus hits. Now you hear this, a bit more of a complex guitar arrangement. And then does it again. And it just has that moving passage behind the vocal melody. It almost beefs up the vocal melody in a really cool way. Okay.
So I'll go walking in the streets till my health.
Okay, talking about tone for a second, it's always worth doing now that I have an amp on screen. Honestly, this is pretty right where I would dial it in. There's no overdrive channel. We don't need any sort of, we don't need that breakup, so I'm going to turn that off, and that disables this whole channel. So we just have a clean, with a little bit of grit, a little bit of finger noise in there to separate the notes. You can hear it. Hey, he could be using a Stingray. It has that character to it, but I'm boosting the bass. I've got the bump thing boosted just to give some nice. And then the mids. Don't be afraid of mids. Don't ever be afraid of mids. They give your note fundamental pitch, and sometimes that's important when the tones are cleaner. Scooping tones works better when the bass tone has a lot more drive and distortion. It pulls out some of those harsher, unwanted characteristics of fuzz and overdrive and such. But when you have a cleaner tone, hey, crank those mids, maybe pull back the treble a bit. But you can hear this little walking bass part that came by here. You can hear that treble. It's got a little bit of finger noise, a little bit of that in there. Just enough to help it separate. Right here. Was that it? That. This dominant chord is very interesting. I don't know why it works. It's just a cool color. It almost makes the song, it helps the song not be too melancholy, I think. Dominant chords carry some tension. They want to go somewhere. You know? All the notes want to move a half step up or a half step down to go somewhere. So they also sound a bit playful. They definitely are a bluesy, jazzy type of sound. So maybe it helps the song not be too melancholy, too dark. Oops. And I like the bass part just not necessarily filling the space too much. So when you have a guitar part going ba-da, ba-da-da, ba-da, you know, it's leaving space for something else to take its place. Probably the vocal melody in this case. A lot of times bass players will push through that and keep it going, which is a cool effect. But sometimes when the song is meant to be this gentler backdrop to a really pretty vocal melody and such, you don't want to drive through that space. You want to let the vocals have it. So the bass is honoring that. But still adding a few pickup notes in the space, just one or two here and there to just push through the progression. So it's not so da 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 da. It's ba da dun dun ba da dun dun da. It just has this stair step feeling. It's not so straight and square. It has a bit of movement. So that kind of stuff, just to glue it together a bit. Picking up an intensity. I also like these chords. The placement rhythmically isn't right on the downbeat. It's over the bar line a bit. Changes it up. Let's see. Yeah, because it has this. I think even more than that. Let me hear that one more time. It's kind of changing chords in the middle of the phrase. So we have da da, new chord, new chord, new chord, new chord, new. You know, it's just kind of early, so it shifts the beat a little bit. Nothing crazy, but it's just not like what was happening earlier with the way the chords were changing. The vocal harmonies are in now. There's a bit of intensity here in this. I would call it a bridge. Yeah, that F sharp chord comes in real early. I like it.
Well, here I am, don't know how to say this. Only thing I know.
The tough part for me with this emo subset of things is that I really only identify that with the vocal styling. So again, I didn't really expect Sunny Day Real Estate to be emo. I got some comments that were like, they're not emo. Then I got a bunch of other comments that were like, oh, they're definitely emo. It's just what emo was before people think of what people think emo is now. Does that make sense? So I very much think of that style as like Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco. You know, bands I've heard a bit of that really crossed over into the mainstream. And this vocal styling just has a bit more of that character to it. Bands like Newfound Glory and such. We've been over that, but I haven't done a lot of that here on the channel. So I don't want to miss out on this branch of that family tree. But again, all this punk rock we've been going through, I'm surprised I haven't really touched on a lot of that. It seems very separate. It seems like a very other thing. So I'm not sure there's as much overlap as I maybe once thought. But for me, I still identify it by the vocal styling. Melodic, nasally. It's love it or hate it for some people. I like it because it's very melodic. I'm a sucker for just good melodies like this song has. So I got to learn a bit more.
Don't know how to say this. Only thing I know is awkward silence.
Cool.
Your eyelids
Didn't expect that.
is awkward silence. Don't know how to say this. Only thing I know is awkward silence.
Comes in on a unique count. It's not. It didn't really fall into that groove. It's kind of like ba ba da 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 boom. Kind of this falling down the stair steps rhythmic choice. I dig it.
Don't know.
It breaks up this kind of dreamy and this really straight breakdown bridge thing here. So I like how it comes in and kind of just disrupts it all. See if I can catch that.
Well, here I am. Don't know how to say this. Only thing I know is awkward silence.
Something like that. Cool. Okay, kind of a fake entrance. The drum beat isn't fully back in here. Blah, 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 blah. And we still have this subtle broken down groove. Little hi-hat, little kick drum, but not a full beat yet. So that was kind of a cool little fake out. One more time.
How to say this? Only thing I know is awkward silence. Your eyelids close.
No snare drum. No backbeat yet. Just hi-hat and kick drum.
You're around me to shut me out.
Ooh, nice falsetto there. I like that.
Well, here I am. Don't know how to say this. Only thing I know is awkward silence. Your eyelids close when you're around me to shut me out. To shut me out. Don't shut me out. To shut me out.
You know, come to think of it, if I really just think back to a lot of the punk rock bands I've done, I talk about the vocals as much as I can. Some vocalists I like more than others, but you don't hear a lot of that head voice. You don't hear a lot of this falsetto timbre. It's very just raw in your face and a ton of different styles within that, but it's very, there's a sense of urgency in the vocals. This falls back much more into a more classic melody approach, just very based on the prettiness of it. So I like hearing this falsetto, especially when you combine these falsetto layers with a main lead that's not falsetto. It's big, just big and pretty. Okay. I like where they're taking the outro here.
Don't shut me out. To shut me out.
Way up there.
Shut me. To shut me out. Don't shut me out. To shut me out. Don't shut me out. To shut me out. Don't count me out. To shut me out. Don't shut
Really pretty. Sometimes when I make band comparisons like the one I'm about to make, you guys are very quick to slap my hand. That's okay. For some reason, this gave me Weezer vibes. Just in terms of the songwriting, the arranging, not the vocals or the style necessarily. But the thing it reminded me of is how much space Weezer tends to put in their songs. They almost have this ballad quality, even though they're not ballads. They're just mid-tempo songs with a lot of rests. It lets the song breathe and just has this gentler delivery. This reminded me of that. It was just something about the tempo, again, the space. It had this nothing too punchier and impactful. It was in the subtleties, the gentleness, especially in the vocals. It had a delicate presentation and some really colorful stuff. Again, I want to call it a ballad, but it just really doesn't seem that way. It's just really, I don't know. I expected this to be maybe a bit heavier. So I'm sure this band has a lot of different sides to them, but again, dipping into this emo side of things is new ground here on the channel. So you have to let me know in the comments what your favorite bass line is. What's your favorite emo bass line? Can bass lines be emo? You know what I mean. Let me know other bands I should dip my toes into, because this is a long play of getting into so much music I missed out on growing up. But I appreciate you guys requesting this. Those of you on Patreon who've been very patient and diligent, and many of you on YouTube. I see the name Saves the Day in the comments quite a bit. But again, thanks for hanging out with me today. If you'd like to support this channel, the best way to do it is to come find us over at patreon.com/Lone University. We do full albums just like this every month. We vote on them. I have bass lessons, music theory lessons, just tons of content over there. And most importantly, an amazing community that I would love for you to be a part of. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You like the video. I love you all. We'll see you in the next one.